Welcome to the video about our C5DK User Validator. First, we will log in to configure the validation package. In the same time we will set up Concrete5 to allow user registration. Let us start by going to the dashboard. You can see here that we already installed the package. Let us look at the settings page. The page is divided into sections. In the top left section, we can see and set which user attributes we want to see on the validation page. In the right section, we can set which user groups we want to add validated users to. And down below, we can set up the validation receipt that will be sent to the user when validation is complete. But before we continue to set up the validation system, we need to activate user registration in Concrete5. We will go to the Systems and Settings page. In this example we also want to have public profiles. Please read the Concrete5 documentation. And we need to activate registration. We need to set Approve manually. And we want to receive an email from the system when a user has registered. Here you are also able to switch login from username to login with email address. Please read the Concrete5 documentation. Let us save our settings. Now, let us look at the Members section in the dashboard. Let us look at the users. Because of the settings in Public Profiles, we now automatically get an avatar. When we go to the user profile, we can see which user attributes that is set up, and we can see which groups the user is a member of. Now, let us create some user groups. You can see here that our package has already created a group. It is used to park validation to a later time. Let us create a user group for users that has access to a community forum. First we name the group. Then we have the possibility to write a description for the group. But this is not mandatory. You also have the option to set up automatically removal of users from the group. Okay, let us add the group. You can here see our new group. Let us create another group. Let us call this group for users that get a newsletter. And again, we can write a description. Here we have our two groups that we will use for our demonstration. Let us look at the user attributes. Concrete5 has two attributes installed as standard. You can here add new attributes. For example, first name and last name. But we will not do this for our demonstration. Now, let us go to the C5DK User Validator settings page. You can here see our new user groups. Let us add them to our validation system. We will be able to view them, and we will set them as checked as default. We will also check our user attributes, and set up our email receipt system. Remember to check Send email to user after validation. And you can write your own custom message to the validated user. Please, remember to click the Save Settings button. Now, let us look at the User Validator page. Of course, the registered user list is empty. We can add the page to the Quick Access menu for easier access to the page. You can do this by clicking the star in the title bar. You can then access the page from the dashboard drop-down menu. Let us log out and try to register a new user. We have on this demonstration page added a link to the registration page. Here the user have to fill out the registration form, and click on the registration button. The system will then send you an email, alerting you that a user has registered. The new user also have the possibility to set the options. These options is the user attributes. Here the user also have to fill out a captcha for security. This is a setting in Concrete5 that you can choose to activate. It is not mandatory. The user has now finished the register process for access to our website, and now we can validate the user. Let us log in as the administrator. And then go to the C5DK validation page. You can also see here that because we switched on public profiles, the members page is visible. Now, the new user is listed, and you can see all the information that you set up in the settings page. You can now validate the user, validate later, or to simply delete the user. With this user, we will click the validate button. Let us see if the user is added. We will go to the user profile page. You can see that the user is here, and if we open the profile, we can see that the user is added to the user groups that we set up earlier. Let us try to log in as the new user. The user is now logged in, but we cannot see any changes. So let us add some special access to a page. We will go to the sitemap and then make some changes. We will give the new users access to this user page. We simply click the Set Permissions menu, and tick the user group, Users with Forum Access. Remember to save. Now we can try to log in as the new user again. As you see here, the user page is not listed. But when the user is logged in, the page is visible in the menu. Let us try to add a few more users to our website, to see what the other validation buttons will do. Let us indicate as user that we do not want to receive either private messages, or getting any private email notification. And at last, the captcha. The captcha can sometimes be a little tricky. But there is other captcha solutions on the Concrete5 marketplace, so if you want something else you can find it there. Let us try again. This time it went okay. Let us go to the validation page again. We see our new user, and we see that the attributes is set to off. This time we want to validate the user a little later. That will give us time to investigate the user before final validation. When validate later is clicked, the user stays in the list, but the field color has changed to yellow. That indicates that the user is awaiting validation later. Let us add yet another user. As you see, there is now 2 users in the list. The new one, and the user that was set to be validated later. Let us validate the waiting user. But we do not want the other user to gain access to our website, so we simply delete the user. Now, let us go to the user profiles to see what actually happened. As you see, demo user 1 is there, and demo user 2 is there. But demo user 3 is not there as we deleted the user at the validator page. And we see that demo user 2 has both the attributes set to off, and the user is added to the user groups correctly. This ends our walkthrough of the C5DK User Validator. Thank you for watching.